I was at Harbor Freight today and look what they came back out with. I know a lot of people in my previous videos, I did a few videos on these and had a little bit of problems at first, and then I figured everything out and they've been working flawless since. This is my original, that is 2 years old now. Still works just fine. As long as you clean it properly and maintain it, you're golden. So comparing the two boxes, they are identical except for one little thing. On the back, in the corner, you'll have a build date. That's the only difference. You're still going to get the 514 tip. You're getting the cup liners and your storage fluid. And like I just mentioned, as long as you clean everything correctly and maintain it, this is going to last a really long time. So especially the storage fluid. You have a pump inside of here. If you just clean it out with water, that could potentially seize up. So when you put the storage fluid in there, it's going to lubricate it so it lasts a very long time. Simple enough, right? On here, it recommends a 3 amp hour battery. You'll have to buy that separate, but chances are you already have it if you are in the Bauer lineup for 20 volt. So let's get started. So right now, I'm going to break this down into different sections for this video. We're going to do an unboxing and see what all is in here. I'm sure it's the exact same thing as before, but again, I have not broken into this yet. Now, by the time this video comes out, it'll probably be on their website. As of right now, it's not on there, but it's in stores. So, here is the sprayer. Looks identical to before. I don't really see any differences. Oh, okay. Here's one difference right now. So they did change it. Maybe from my last video, and I know a lot of people had the other problem, is when you went to prime this, it was a little bit like, I don't want to mention other names of brands, but if you're used to using a certain brand, you prime one way. This was the opposite. So I think the directions were a little bit confusing. So I'm going to actually compare. Oh, actually perfect. They updated the directions right away. So props to Harbor Freight. I love when companies can take some constructive criticism and improve it. So right away, you have a different priming mechanism on the side. You still have that little port to let all the air out of your cup. So I'm actually going to read the directions since I have not looked at these yet. New directions. Here's actually I bought these today. I always have extra cups. So you get the 514 tip. And you get brushes. Let me see here. You get a strap. Let me pull all these out. So you get brushes to clean it. You get the 312 tip. There is a strap. Here's a little needle looking device. That's probably for cleaning the main tip out of the front here, the 312. And here's an extra O-ring, or a couple O-rings. All right, cool. This is actually an excellent idea. So they actually give you this little piece right here is the same one for when you purge out the air. So being a piece of rubber and like going back and forth, I haven't had an issue on mine after 2 years, but it's cool that they give you an extra one. Actually, 2 extra ones in here in case it wears out or you just lose it. Because it's just in there by force. It's not like attached to anything. So props to Harbor Freight for really improving their product. I'm going to be trying it here shortly. See what else. Okay, here's a standard set of directions. And then you have like the almost like the cheat sheet. You know, they give you the quick version so you don't have to read through the whole thing. Now, I'm going to look at this. I'll stop the camera here after I'm done unboxing. But here's the storage fluid. And they give you cups. You got 3 cups. And again, I always just buy extras up the store just to have. And what's nice about these cups is they're flexible. They're not plastic. Sometimes when you look at these on a video, they look like they're like hard plastic, but they're not. Like, you can see like they're flexible. It's almost like reminds you like a vinyl in a way. So that way when you squeeze to push out the air, that'll work. And finally, I would have to actually see what this is. I am not sure. You have this cup piece here. Oh, you know what? That actually might be for the top of that. So if you want to take out your paint, unscrew this, or maybe not. I will read the directions to see what this piece is for. Actually, never mind. It attaches to the bottom. All right, cool. So again, differences between the two, and also too, you still have the speeds on top, 1 and 2. Let's see here. Just seeing anything else that I noticed. Still have like the screen in the bottom. You have the tip. Just have to put the tip in there. So yeah, sorry to drag that out, but this is the first time I'm seeing it too, so I'm trying to just look at everything. But again, right now, before you have to pull it out, whereas this is the twist style, up and down. So I will see which way primes. I'm thinking this way primes, and then it turns, but let me read the directions so I can show you properly. So we're gonna break this down, like I said, into sections. And we'll keep doing individual sections so you can just skip to what part you want to see and go from there. All right, just looking at the directions, this is the old one, this is the new one. You can see they totally redid everything. This here is like the game changer for me. It really describes every aspect of what you're supposed to do here. One thing that I'll just note from before is they say when you fill up the cup to put 1/4 of water in it. So 1/4 of one of these needs to be filled with water, and then add paint. That'll thin it out so you have no issues. Also, to rotate, to prime it, you rotate the spray valve to horizontal, which is like that. When you want to spray, you flip it up. So it's actually opposite what I thought it's going to be. That will spray, this will prime. And then they show you turn sprayer upside down and press the trigger for 2 seconds. And for me, I actually thought the last time I used this, well, if there's any air in this and you put it upside down, the air will come to the top. And I thought that would create like an issue later, but that's how they want you to do it. And then they said to have an extra gallon just to spray into, just till you get it primed and everything like that. So that is a cup support adapter, the piece I screwed onto the bottom, and that is just so you can stand up nicely. And then also, anytime you're doing anything, there's a lock right here, and you can squeeze a trigger that locks it. Usually you're supposed to remove the battery, but if you don't and you hit that, that way it doesn't spray all over you. It's going to lock the trigger so you can't start it up. Now, when I open the box, this only advertises, again, I'm working on a rental property, so I have stuff like everywhere. Apologize for the mess. It only advertises the 514, but I actually had both different tip sizes in here. So, I'm not sure if they're all going to be like that or if I just got lucky, but both tip sizes are in here. The 514 is for thin paints, and for medium viscosity, use the 312. And they have the little piece here, which I'll show you how to put in a second. But again, I'm going to overly explain this video so everybody can fully understand what exactly is going on, because when I did my first one, I really don't feel like the directions were that great, so it really left me guessing, and I didn't want to like dog the tool or anything like that, but there's a lot of people out there that just didn't understand how to use it, but once you figured it out, it worked great. So again, props to you fixing the issues. So let's go ahead and put the tips on. I'm going to use I think I'm going to go with a 312. I'm going to just spray water through it so you can get the general idea. And then I'm going to get some paint and do that. It's kind of windy out today, so I'm hoping I can do that. And we're supposed to have a storm come through, but we'll see if I'll have enough time. Okay, the first thing we're going to do is put on our spray tip. So like this part here, this will just slide down when the time's right. But the first thing, like you could see the hole here, there's two sides to this, and the picture is a little bit small. This side here has like it's kind of like I wouldn't call it an O-ring, but it's going to be your seal. This side here, you can see how it has kind of like that notch there. That goes around here. That way you have an airtight seal, and on the inside there's also that seal. So as you tighten this down on the sprayer, it's going to push through the orifice your paint. So the trickiest part is you have two sides to this. You'll see this can only really fit in this way right there. See how that just went in? And just keep in mind, think like your tip's going to go straight down, so you need it to like be this way. So just push it through just like this. So once that's in place there, sometimes it doesn't always come off of the tip real good. So like, might just have to have it on there slightly. Again, I'm looking down at my phone right now trying to do this. And then like it's in there, so I'll just press down a little bit and we're good. So to put the spray tip in, see how the bottom has like a couple of those like notches there? That goes towards the front like that. And you can press down and then turn this way. That says spray on it, and that has a number. If you ever have to clear one of these out because it got jammed up with something, you just turn this around. This will give the front full pressure then. That'll get full pressure, clear it out, and then you can go back to having your normal spray pattern. So I'm going to attach this to the gun, or the sprayer I should say. And it just threads on. And I just hand tighten this whole way. And then what I'll do, hopefully it doesn't pick up hear a ton of kids in the background. So I'm just going to hand tighten this on as much as I humanly can. And then I'll just take a little crescent wrench, and I just want to go around a little bit more just to snug this up. And that's good. You don't have to like over tighten it, because it's going to seal against that seal that's inside of there. Okay, so the next part is filling up the cup, so we'll move on to that. Okay, the next part is going to be the cup. You have the holder, you have the base, and then the cup. I just have it filled with water just for video purposes. This just clicks in right here. This adds a little bit of weight, so it kind of balances your sprayer. The cup just slides right down in. Usually I have it filled up more, but I'll show you why I did it like that, just for video purposes. I always go around the top to make sure there's nothing there that will prevent it from sealing. So the trick to this, instead of just trying to screw it on, this is threaded. You go counterclockwise, I'll go clockwise a little bit, and it helps it to thread easier. So you go clockwise and counterclockwise. So now, actually it went off a little bit there. Just want to make sure that's threaded on there good. Okay. You don't see any threads right there, so you know we're threaded good. And then the next step is going to be priming it. This is what gave me difficulties in the first video, but I've used this and it actually works really, really great now. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, so to prime, it says to leave this, now actually to get the air out, I should say. Have this part straight up and down. We removed this part, you can see like the hole here. And what we're going to do is squeeze the air. You can hear it coming out. This will be the tricky part because I'm trying to look at the camera through this and do it. As soon as you start to see, in this case water, but as soon as you start seeing paint come through the hole a little bit, we know we have all the air out. So we're going to plug, I know it's hard to see right now because my hand's in the way. Just plug that hole back up. And then turn this horizontal and it's ready to prime. So we will show you that right now. Okay, so we had our trigger locked. So we got to press it towards the camera. That'll unlock it. Our battery's already in. We have this horizontal going this way. All we have to do is upside down for roughly 2 seconds. And that primes it. Now you don't have to switch anything once you prime it. And that was the difficulties before. The directions were a little bit hard to understand. Now they updated all the directions. They have a quick pamphlet of how to do everything. They changed this mechanism. It works amazing. So like right now we're ready to paint. Again, this is just water. You see how effortlessly that is now. So props to Harbor Freight for taking care of a problem. Maybe they saw my video or somebody else's, but they saw that people were having some issues, corrected it, relaunched it. It's awesome. I still have my old one, and once I learned how to use it, it was fine, but they adjusted a few things, and this is definitely something you want to grab. The price is really, really good compared to everything else on the market. Works amazing. This is for smaller jobs. This isn't for painting like an entire house. You can buy their a little bit better Avanti one, but this is great for small jobs. Like I want to do the gutters and rain spouts and all that stuff. So this is going to be great for that. And again, I'll get some paint so I can just show you how it looks spraying, but I'll do a few more videos in the future with a few projects I have coming up. I have some doors I have to spray and things like that. So let me go on to the next part. I'll just show you a few features on here. Just trying to cover everything so you can fully grasp what all the features are here and how to use them. What do you do if you get a clog? A lot of times, unless you strain your paint, you're going to have, once in a while you get a clog. It's just normal with sprayers. So when you're looking at this, on the tip it says spray. All you do, flip it around, and it's going to have a steady stream. It'll be full pressure. So that'll blow out the clog that you have, flip it around, and you're ready to go again. So that's how you solve that problem. Okay, this has 2 different speeds on it. So right now I have it on 1, and we can change it to 2 by pressing right there. You can see a lot more paint comes out quickly. You can hear the difference. It's just going to be faster, basically. A lot more paint. A lot of times I like using number 1. That way I can just go through it slowly and just put on light coats. And that's how you change the speeds on this. So one thing is how to change the direction of your tip. Right now, this will spray this way and that way and make a wide pattern horizontally. If you want to just switch it to vertical, so going this way, because then your pattern will go up and down, and then you can go back and forth like this. And then you just switch it back when you're ready to paint the other way. That's very easy to do. And just double check when you do that to make sure this part is still tight, just so you have a real good seal. Okay, so we're all done painting for the day and you're ready to start cleaning this up. First thing to remember is lock this. And then what you do is open this right here. That's going to let air back in here and break the seal basically. And just give it like about 20 seconds. You can see how the cup expanded back out. And then flip this vertical. That's also going to let air into the system, and then you can release the cup. Do not release the cup until you let the air out. And that's it, ready for cleanup. Okay, so they said to fill this with a quarter full of water. In the previous version, there's no mention of this, but I found once you thin it down a little bit, it works a lot better. So that's what we're going to do. And I'm going to give it a quick mix. Now, usually I would strain it, but I just want to see how this would work going through like this. I'm just going to mix it some. I'm sure once it builds pressure, it's going to self-mix anyhow, but let's see. Okay, just like before, we have that vertical, we have that open. Okay. Just squeezing it. Pushing it back into the hole there. Flipping this horizontal. Now, I got a little bit of paint on me. Let me just clean my hand real quick. Now, they said to have like another container that you can spray into. I have a garbage can here. We're just going to do that because we're trying to do this kind of quick just to show. And of course, the storm clouds are coming in, so let's just make this kind of quick. Okay, I had a small blockage, so that's what stopped that. Okay, let me just spray this real fast. This will just kind of represent a piece of trim. So that lays a pretty good even coat. I had that on number 1. I was able to control how much paint is going out. Simple enough, right? Let's try this vertical piece. Okay, since I'm going vertical, all I gotta do is turn this like that there. Make sure that's still tight, which it is. I'm just going to go up and down this really quick just to show you basically this works so much better than last time. So let me turn this on number 2 just so you can see that. I prefer number 1. There's less overspray. I just think you have better control. Number 2 would probably be better for thicker paints. That way it's pushing it through and it probably won't be coming out as fast. This is thinned out, and we all know how paint is nowadays. It's already thinned out pretty much. So us adding water only makes it thinner. So let me finish. So huge improvement. So let me well, I'll show you how to clean it, then I'll just kind of give you my final thoughts, or maybe I'll just give them now. The Harbor Freight has always impressed me. They listen to the customers. So when this came out, I did make a video. I said what the issues were. Not saying it was me, because there's plenty of people who had issues. And even when I talked to the store managers, people were taking these back because they couldn't get them to prime. They rechanged the directions. They changed the tooling. They also have like a quick startup sheet. So huge props to Harbor Freight for coming through. And not that they really had to fix this, because once I figured the other one out, it was fine. But they made this a lot easier to figure out. So again, here, I just did it real quick. A little bit of overspray, that's normal with any sprayer. But you can see how good that turned out. So let's go ahead and clean this up, show you how to do that. And we'll get ready for painting doors another day. I'll do a few more videos on this so you can see just exactly how this works and different applications I will use this on. Okay, so you're done painting, now what? So first thing we want to do is put our trigger lock on so we're not spraying ourselves by accident. Remove the battery. Next, we want to turn this vertical and then release the pressure. You can hear the pressure release. You can see that cup filled back up. Just give it like 10 seconds, 20, whatever you feel. Trying to open this without, there we go, without spilling paint all over myself. I'm just gonna put this back in here. Actually, you know what? I'll worry about cleaning this part up later. Usually you dump your paint back in wherever you need to, and then maybe you have another bucket or whatever. We'll throw this over here. So I have paint in here. Got my favorite free bucket. I'm just gonna rinse this part out real quick. This is all plastic, so it doesn't even matter. And then you could pop off the bottom just so everything dries good. Simple enough, right? Make sure our battery's out of the way. So, you're gonna need another new cup because we'll fill it with water and run it through here to clean this. So that's what we're gonna do right now. I'll get that. Okay, got a cup. So we are going to, I guess I probably should have cleaned that part last, but no big deal. We're basically just going to run water through. And if you're using like an enamel, then you run like, I think they have like, it tells you in there, I think it's like a lacquer or like a thinner. But read the directions on that one. I always use water base. Okay, move this back to horizontal. Get our battery. Safety off. Upside down. You'll see when it's clean, but I'm going to run a bunch through, and then I'm going to turn the tip around the other way. Also, if you do have a big mess, you can use this to clean. Because you have clean water coming out of there. Okay, ran that through and we're done at the moment, but I'm going to go ahead and take this apart some. But before, like, I'll take it apart and then I'm going to put our the pump, I forget the name of it right now, the pump stuff you put in. Okay, so one thing I forgot to do is make sure the air's out. That way you don't have any build-up pressure. This little piece came out the back. Clean that up. Again, water is going to clean this up fairly easy. We've got that little piece that I showed you in the beginning. We're going to take out our tip itself, clean it in water. And if you see that there's stuff in there, that's why they have this little tool right here. You can clean that out. I'll set these aside. Now we have our brush. So to get down in there, we'll use a brush. The cleaner you can keep these, the easier it's going to perform time after time again. Let's go through there a few times. The other way as well. Water-based paints clean pretty easy. So we're clean right there. I'll set that aside. And then we already ran this through, so we know this part's clean. So what we're gonna do is empty out our cup, because that was just water. Rinse it out again, just to make sure there's nothing in there. And I don't see anything here. In the bottom where the paint goes, sometimes that reservoir, there's a little hole here. Sometimes that'll have paint, just make sure that's clean. And then we'll get our, now I remember, the pump protector. So let me grab that. So with this, like half of this will go in here. And we're just going to run it through, and that'll protect the pump, because right now there's water inside of there. And what will happen, that could rust if you don't use it for a while. Okay, so let's put this back together. Again, just watch the video over if you can't remember how. We'll put the orifice back in here. Okay, so that's good. Oops, pop out the back there. Okay, got that. Once you do this a few times, you'll fly right through it. Again, you're just screwing this on. want to, watch the video over again so you can just see step by step. We're good there. I will get my wrench really quick just to tighten that down. You just want to make sure you do have good air, like pressure. That way you know that fluid is going through there. Okay, that's good on there. I'll squeeze out as much air as I can. As much as you can. There's still going to be some in there. Oops. Hold that vertical. Squeeze out the air. Okay, turn horizontal. We have our lock off, upside down. So I think I'm actually going to put a little bit more in there. I can see it's sucking up in, but because there's so little, it's a little bit tricky to know for sure. I don't mind like using extra of this because I know it's going to protect my sprayer. There's so little in there. I'm going to try to reprime this. Okay. All right, this was a little bit tricky. Let me try this again. Since there's only a little bit of fluid in there, it makes it a little bit trickier. Usually I'll have my big bottle, I'll fill it up like halfway full, and then I'll just dump whatever's left over back into my bottle. And even if a little bit of water gets in there, there's so little it won't matter. There we go. So as soon as I put the whole bottle in, and it worked much better. So we're good there. You just have to have it run through the pump, that's all. So now that we're done, we can release pressure, take our cup off. You don't have to do anything with here because it's all pump protector, it's not going to hurt any of that. And then really, if you want to, there's only a little bit here. You can pour it back in, but it's really not worth it. And the cup you can reuse because it didn't really get dirty. So like you can reuse this one. So hopefully you enjoyed every aspect of this. You got the walkthrough from start to finish, how to use this. I will be doing more videos showing actual projects instead of me just painting a piece of wood or a piece of plywood. But here, I'll just show you real quick since we are here. Okay, just kind of show you. Again, just did this quick. Definitely needs more coats on it. This one was dry wood, it's been sitting outside. But I just wanted to show you, you know, like this is night and day compared to the old one. Because they changed out that piece there and included the new instructions. Oops, I got water on this one. And then they have a quick guide how to get started and finished. So thank you to Harbor Freight for not only coming out with great products, but also listening to the customers. So they redid the instructions. They have that quick setup brochure. They changed the prime valve on here to make it really easy for everybody. As you can see, it works really easy now. No problems. I will be doing a lot more projects, like I said. I hope you enjoyed this series. Basically, I showed every step, every feature of this, so you can just flip through to see what you need to know about this, whether it be priming, cleaning, or whatever. So thank you again, everybody, for watching. See you in the next video. And looks like I beat the rain. So see you in the next one.